The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Leadership Podcast. It is another edition of The Big Issue. And of course, as usual, I'm your regular host. George Jagba is my name. And of course, he's seated here with me in the studio, our in-house analyst, Silas Ezegu.
Welcome.
David Tucker.
Good to be here again.
Together, we'll be taking you on the big issue of the day, which is the unmasking of sponsors of terrorism in the country. And the big issue is probing the fact that now that sponsors of terrorism have been unmasked, what is the next line of action by the government? And of course, the federal government on Thursday told Nigerians that the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit has uncovered 96 financiers of terrorism, including 424 associates, supporters of the financiers. This is also against the backdrop by the alarm raised by Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum that ISWAP terrorists is poised to take over the country as it has been busy recruiting en masse. Alas, we have a very serious situation here. The government said 96 sponsors of terrorists have been unmasked. And this is a good development because I can remember one time on the big issue here, we trust on the matter that the sponsors of terrorism should be named. And we give instances of other countries that even the United Arab Emirates had to even send list of Nigerians they think are sponsoring. But the federal government was always silent on it. But admitting yesterday that they have actually unmasked these people. And they possibly arrest now, David.
I don't believe anybody has been arrested.
Because it's about 45 of them also will be,
They say arrested 45.
yes, that there will be.
Out of 96. You know, they think
But you see, wait first, David Tucker. The question I want to ask Silas first is that why are they making their names? Are they not making their names? No. Because naturally, whenever we get issues of such arrest, it's either the army or the police that should have actually announced it. And then parade these financiers of terror. Let Nigerians see them. That we just announce it to us and then they will soon take them to court. And don't be surprised. Even the court hearing itself, you discover that it will be done in camera. Nothing will be heard about. So what are they hiding about?
that is a $5,000 question. Why are they striving this in secrecy?
Yes.
Who is benefiting from this secrecy, this shrouding of the people?
Nigerians are beginning to smell the rat.
Yes. It's not today that Nigeria is calling on them to don't do people. Don't do those who are doing this.
Yes,
It doesn't mean that if you
before.
don't them, they have judged them.
Yeah.
Of course, it's still taken court.
They are suspects.
All those African exposed people who have been tried for corruption, fraud. Well, they've been named and have been tried.
Yes.
They're not be saying that these people are culprits. They are still suspects. But we need to know who are being suspected of committing this crime and let us know the process that trying to use to get justice. So the insider of holding them behind doors, I don't get it. A lot of Nigerians are, if you listen to all the comments today in the TVs, the radios, everyone is agitated. Why are you telling us that you have a list of some people? Who are they? Who are they? Because these so and so people have been found to have been, whether they're rightly or wrongly accused, that these people are the ones accused.
Yes.
If someone is accused, you got to go to court unless you have judged him and claimed that he has done that thing. The law says innocent until proved guilty. But it didn't say you cannot accuse somebody of anything.
Yes.
No, so all these people are waiting trial. They accuse people.
But what you're saying, yes, Silas, it's very clear. See, naturally, the normal thing we see in the country here, even the police, whenever they arrest criminals, kidnappers, and robbers, and the rest, they will bring them before the public, parade them in the full glare of the media, and then begin to list what they committed,
and then alleged to have committed.
At that point, they attack the suspects. They should do same to the sponsors of terror. Although do you think?
See, there are people who have even tried to say that that parading is not a good idea because even finally when they are found to be innocent, that tag,
We tagged them already.
you know, throws them. But that type of gate throws them around. Because the police will not come out publicly and say these people
Do not do this.
they not do it again, that kind of stuff. So that's also something the police can look into and see how to go around it. But if they are saying they will not, even to list their names, even the company, say companies, 170 companies, even to companies who have been transacting business with terrorists, they can't even name them. The thing is, these kind of criminals are high network criminals. There are people who command billions. That they rub shoulders with the high and mighty. They are part of the elite. People who can have that kind of material to support such causes. And some of them are their friends. That's the reason that they're trying not to expose them in any way.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. So what's the point of keeping them announced? These are people who have been accused. It's up to them to say, well, free myself, I didn't do this thing. You went to court and challenge it, or you're taking to court to defend yourself. But to keep telling us they are found so even the one that's from UAE, they even send the list down to Nigeria, and Nigeria still didn't have because yes, they have tried some in UAE and sent them to jail already, Nigerians. But the one they sent to Nigeria, the associates in Nigeria, were not even okay, since that time to now, that UAE has committed those people, Nigerians, they gave their names. Why is Nigeria has not committed, or even had told us that they are trying those ones sent it by UAE? So the whole thing, we run the risk of sounding like broken records. But the government is not showing us that result that this terrorism thing that it's cause them sleepless nights.
That is
the way
the
it's
concern
causing
among
the
Nigerians.
rest of us.
They are just treating it with some levity, and you see, that is why the Nigerians are saying that they hope it will not be another episode that will be swept under the carpet, especially as the information minister, Lai Mohammed, who disclosed this yesterday, admitted that top government officials are shielding the sponsors of terrorism.
It's no longer news. That's on top government. Experts have said it, international communities have said it. Now, what I expected was not for the Minister of Information to come out and tell me this is a number of people have been unmasked. Nigerians know already there are people behind all these things. You've gone after them. If you have enough evidence, I expected the government to say we want so and so persons. This so person is wanted for so crimes against humanity, against Nigeria. We're going after them, or we have this number and we're looking for so and so person for so and so crimes based on the investigation of the intelligence community. Why are they being paid? It's not just to come and start telling the media. You have these companies that have you blacklisted them? If you have enough evidence, you should blacklist those companies before you even
start businesses.
Before you start, otherwise you've not done anything.
In fact, they can still be funding terrorism. They can still be funding it if you are
even fight the system.
Yes,
so I don't think the system is actually serious.
Well,
Whatever they told Nigeria.
Let's just take a look at something, figures and then data that Lai Mohammed, the information minister, gave. He said the fraud unit also unmarked 123 companies
But this should not be
and 33 bureaus the change linked with terrorism.
I don't expect this to be an operation of the NFIU.
Yes.
What is the NIA, DSS, and the rest doing?
And then the defense intelligence something.
Are they part of this whole thing?
Yes.
If they are part of this, when they finish all these things, it is not NFI. NFI is supposed to pass all these things to the Attorney General of the Federation. They're supposed to take these people to court, and then whatever the case will be. But this whatever they are doing is still media trial. Maybe it's politically motivated because we are close to 2023. Maybe I think that's what they are trying to assuage the minds of Nigerians. So I don't think whatever they've said is the truth.
Okay, look at now.
I don't buy it.
Yes. See, let me quote Lai Mohammed here. He said, for each part, the analysis by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit in 2020-2021 revealed 96 financiers of terrorism in Nigeria, 424 associates, supporters of the financiers, involvement of about 123 companies and 33 bureaus, the change, in addition to identifying 26 suspected bandit kidnappers and 7 conspirators. The analysis has resulted in the arrest of 45 suspects who will soon face prosecution and seizure of assets. On terrorism financing, NFIU had intelligence exchanges on Boko Haram, ISWAP, banditry, kidnapping, and others with 19 countries. During the same period, 2020-2021, the organization returned fraudulently obtained funds totaling $103 million, $722,102, £3,000 sterling, 7,695 Singapore dollars, and 1,091 euros to 11 countries of victims who came into the country. You see this video? That means the terrorism thing in Nigeria is not just about the local insurgents. I think it's a global thing. It's like these insurgents have affiliation with people outside, and you see that what is happening in Nigeria is an organized crime that involves certain countries.
It's
That is a serious matter.
remember that
And then the
Zulum,
government will just sit down here and be just
listen, the Zoom have seen it that ISWAP, ISWAP was a branch of Boko Haram that broke up and pledged
This one actually came from the Middle West.
No,
I
think they broke it.
So when they broke
up and
they came and
pledged
formed alliance with a part of Boko Haram that had issues with
Shekau.
That's why those ones are now. It is the same Islamic State in the Middle West that is an arm of it. An arm of the ISIS that is operating here in the West. That they are now saying it is ISWAP. ISWAP means they are operating in West Africa. So all the countries within West Africa that are being affected by terrorism, they are part of it.
Well, let's just quickly take a short break. We'll be back, and as we do so, we're expecting that we'll begin to get comments from our viewers to help shape the conversation on the big issue. Don't go offline. You stay put. We'll be back in a moment.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Welcome back. We're still on the big issue in Leadership Podcast. And the issue at stake is now that the sponsors of terrorism have been unmasked. Silence Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum. Yesterday to raise the alarm. And look, care is not taken. ISWAP, that particular group of terrorists in the country, will take over the country. And that they have been recruiting en masse in large numbers. The way it sounded is as if the fighters of ISWAP are even overshadowing the number of military personnel we have in the country. This is something that also calls for worry.
Seriously, it calls for worry because who has the shoe knows why it pinches. He's a governor of Borno, the most terror-infested area in the country.
Yes.
Who lives with them? So if he's saying that this is swap and recruiting, you must have your local intelligence that you need to say that. And if he says they are whether trained, we must have seen the way they operate. he can talk like that from the angle he's coming from. The military guys who on the ground will not likely come out and tell you this kind of thing because it is their job to deal with whatever is there. That's their job. Whether they are whether they are not supposed to be better than the Nigerian soldiers who have trained well over the years, paid good money, trained abroad, some that are trained abroad, trained in Europe, trained in South America. These are commanders in the field. So I don't know the kind of training that these people have that you should not be able to handle them.
Those people, what they have is not training. They have an ideology.
But
that is
before you
pushing them.
continue, David, let me
It is
see.
not. It is not the training.
Before you
An
go,
average soldier has a family that he's the breadwinner. His aim is to stay alive, stay alive, to take care of that family. The man you're fighting is fighting to die and go to heaven and enjoy 72 virgins.
72.
Of course. So you have
I thought it was 7.
So the difference is very clear, and the man is pushed by drugs. He has been
And I the money too.
hypnotized and paid.
And I
His
make
own
money.
cash. Now you have
and
a family.
he's a
The
fanatic.
person does not
He's
know,
completely tied
the
to
person does
belief.
not know what life is all about. He's ready to die. You're not fighting to die, you're fighting to stay alive. So
On the
two
part of
different
the-
things. You cannot compare Nigerian soldier with these guys. 100 of these guys is not even
But come on,
one soldier.
David, with the death
So-
of ISWAP leader, we thought it would have signaled. You
You
remember
killed
when they
the
say
man, you
ISWAP
did not
leader,
kill the ideology. So
they
another
would
person
have-
steps in.
say it would have been an end of this terrorism war.
The man was killed, not the ideology.
So how do we kill
Come on,
the
just
ideology
take
then?
so they have a chain. They have their cell.
No,
They have
Salah,
a
he's
cell.
saying that you kill the man,
You did not
the
kill the
leader,
man, you did not
without
kill
killing
the
the ideology.
ideology.
How do we kill the how should they kill the ideology?
Of course, those people, something started this whole thing in 2009 that is giving room to all these things. Has the government gone back to say, okay, this is a system, the frustration is too much. Have we addressed the things that are making those guys to even recruit people? There's a disconnect between the government and the people. If the government cannot take care of it and somebody is offering what the government is supposed to give you for a price, would you take it? Most of the people are vulnerable.
But the Silas, what David is saying, is sacrosanct. That
You know,
when he said that these people they are fighting, just like you're saying, we are not fighting a normal war.
it's not normal.
It's a guerrilla warfare. You are dealing with people who are not coming with you, coming towards you conventionally. There are people who have come and they've made up their mind to die, to go and enjoy how many virgins?
72.
So now,
They've been told, they've been brainwashed. That's their belief.
but even at that, Silas.
Now, have you tried to educate them? Until you educate them and take them out of that mentality,
But Silas,
you can kill and kill
even
those
at
people.
that, let's look at the fact that the world has moved to technology and artificial intelligence warfare. Why is it so difficult for Nigeria to adopt such? Now we have things like drones. We have some kind of technologies that can face them without having
from my
physical human
sources,
beings.
From military sources, there are drones operating in the north. That's why they've been hitting them of recent. But what Nigerians want is not enough for Nigerians. And you know, most times when they carry out these strikes, you start the national community to say, no, where you carried out this strike, you killed innocent people. But I remember I was discussing with a soldier in the northeast, and he said they are all Boko Haram. Some are Boko Haram without gun. When you meet the person without gun, they will tell you they will rescue this person. But some soldiers on ground will tell you that person you're calling a victim was not really a victim. It became hot, and the person dropped the weapon. And by arms conflict laws, you cannot kill the person.
We arrest him.
You arrest, and you bring
Sunlight.
it, and the government to look into the matter and do the need. They don't do it before you see those people reintegrated. You know, so a lot of things are just not the way. A lot of things are just not the way people want to see.
Of course.
And the government, okay, a lot of Nigerians are quite angry with the government, with the system. You know, you come from a community. When you go there, you see the neglect. Water is not running. Healthcare is not. Almost everything is just not there. But you see the elite driving in luxurious cars, living in certain apartments. You're living in abundance. Why people are languishing?
And you say you are their leader.
Babagana. What do you expect? Somebody can now come and tell these people, see all these people are enjoying here, do this thing, you go in heaven and enjoy them. Won't the person take it? It is left for you to tell the person, no, now you don't have to go to heaven and enjoy this thing. Anyway, this is the what we need to do, and then change the system. Let it go around. Don't just sit on it alone. Don't just sit on it alone. So a lot of issues when you talk to people, you know, anytime you travel with the military guys, you go to the communities, you realize, meet up to the men on ground. They'll tell you.
That reminds me, David. That reminds me, sir. The Super Tucano jet.
Is operating
When it came, it was applauded
As the game
as
changer.
the game changer in the country.
and
That is, with that Super Tucano jet, to weed out these terrorists. As if, but at the end of the day, even with that, last week, or was it, this week, I see, the Senate asked the military to deploy the Super Tucano jets and make sure that they get rid of the bandits. And I think Buhari, in one of his recent, one of the many thousands of marching orders, he asked the military to deploy those jets. You see that the jet had not been deployed or is there and yet.
Jets are operating in the northeast.
But no impact based on the way they were presenting those jets. The huge sum of money spent.
They're actually making impact. Make that pounding. But the thing is, you're carrying out these strikes. You know, the military cannot be everywhere. The ideal thing to do is, you know, the Nigerian landmass. If the military has gone with their offensives, cleared this community, the right thing to do is for the civil security, police, and every other to come and take over, hold the ground, while the military goes ahead. But it is not done. You see military almost everywhere. It is not supposed to be. So you're overstressing the strength. You know, the military is taking over communities in the northeast, but they cannot abandon. The moment they move out of this place, those people come back. Because the police and everyone have failed to come and take over.
From the northeast, you move down to southeast, where they will go and do python dance.
And
crocodile smile.
There's no coordination between the police, the military, the other.
There is coordination, but of course, when you capture and you want them to stay and they refuse to stay, what will you do? You will not.
See, another issue which you raised the other day. Why is it that most of the police are supposed to be working in that kind of place, the northeast and northwest and so, are in the south, marking roadblocks or guarding some
dancing python dance,
smiling like crocodiles, guarding some the wives on some big shots and
carrying bags,
big men's wives and
carrying bags for
wives and children and guarding them.
Well, sorry to cut you short. I think we have the thing is too fast. We have we have a comment there by Avia, and I think what we have there. Amos, who?
Lale boy.
Maybe they'll have to put it on the big screen. Salas, proceed. Let them see how they put it on the big. Let's see how we can be able to see it.
You know, you see policemen carrying bags of the VIPs that are supposed to protect, the ones that are doing VIP protection. But actually, the land is vast. Go to Niger State. So most of when the military capture this territory, the right thing is for other, now, police, every other, hold the ground, we proceed ahead. They don't do that. Military will capture, then put 1, 2, 3 persons here, stay here for us. So the strength is reducing. By the time you put here, pocket, you've reduced your strength. So those people will now know that, they are here, but this is their number. If you come with this number, we'll be able to overpower them.
But it says something about technology. If you have technology, you don't need to be. I told you one time. I said one time in this program that
you say something about how Israel operates.
You may have artificial intelligence, but you also need human intelligence.
Yeah, you know, but to take those guys out one by one, if you have drones, you have surveillance technology, you can target them, see them on screen, and drop it on them the way it is.
Well, sorry, silence. We're
working them too.
We have it clearly here now. Osholake Lake Boy Amos. Osholake Lake Boy Amos has this to say. He said 90% of these terrorists were politicians. They know them. They will only name them if they part ways with each other. And then later, crosses to the opposition. You see what he's trying to say?
Everything is political.
Political motivation.
And I said it.
And see what Amos is trying to say in essence is here. Within government cycle and among politicians, they know themselves. And there is possibly that they know. And of course, let's see Adam Abdullahi Pambegwa. Adam Abdullahi Pambegwa is saying, as the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit uncovered 96 financiers of terrorism, including, according to reports, 424 associated supporters of the financier. It therefore becomes necessary for the federal government to ensure that the names of those people involved are made public. You see, that's the major.
That just
why don't you give the list first?
Agreed on the fact that they should make public to this. Let them say we didn't do it.
That's the point. Because even the ones that are on the you name them and then declare them wanted.
And what and if you have evidence, what are you waiting to prosecute them? That's the court.
Yes.
I'm sure that it's not yesterday that Mr. mentioned those things that brought out that list. Why did it take them this long? Why didn't you proceed to take them to court?
Take them to court
And remand them.
And the only thing we hear is soon. They will soon be soon. No, as you were talking before, just briefly before we wrap up, you were trying to explain to us about the method at which
they can use
without necessarily
they've got the money.
You said something. The Israel. You said how Israel
deal with Hamas and other terrorist nations in its own way using technology. They don't have to be on the ground. Even one of that general mentioned it in last 2 3 weeks that you don't need to expose their forces to danger by going to shoot at the street level with the terrorists. You have superior, arsenal. Deploy technology to take them out. With surveillance technology, with drones, you can drop bombs on their head wherever, even inside their rooms. So why don't they want to invest that kind of technology that can give them this kind of advantage? So those things are available. It's only that if they are looking watching this for 11 years, the other says something that this for life they're not fishing 20 years. And nobody asked him how would he fish 20 years. You've got to research. You see, the only way we can do this work is by adopting the right strategy. And that strategy we can adopt.
And he was there. He also have adopted that strategy.
Well, he didn't.
He was there as a chief.
And for a long time, he was there.
For more than 5 years.
He was there. So not just buying the normal guns.
Longest serving chief.
They're not just buying the normal terrestrial guns. Go to the level of using. See, the US before they could get the leader of ISIS, the kind of intelligence, kind of scrutiny, kind of surveillance they used. Even the president was watching the operation going on. That's the level at the world operating now. And that's the only way to deal with this kind of terrorists. Those who are even taking grounds in Nigeria, taking territory, mounting a flag. That means they are not really they're not even hiding. They're putting themselves for us to see.
Well, that is the much we can take for today's edition of the big issue. The federal government says it has unmasked 96 financiers of Boko Haram, 424 associates and supporters of these financiers, and of course about 40-something of them have been arrested and they are waiting prosecution. Well, Nigerians say it should not be another smoke screen that will be swept under the carpet. And as the events unfold, we're waiting to see from this point what the federal government intends to do. Thank you for keeping tab with us. And of course, I'll thank our in-house analysts for addressing the big issue. For now, it is goodbye.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.